Welcome back to another opportunity to accumulate health. Today we're talking about toxicity and nutrient depletion and literally the overwhelming challenge of the industrialized human. And we talk about often hormone imbalance, autoimmune disease, leaky gut, chronic infections, but the things that make us ultra susceptible to all of this is micronutrient imbalances and depletion and chronic toxin exposure. And we're just being hit on every angle right now. So hit that subscribe button and click that little bell to be notified when there's a new video. As always, I'll be hanging out in the comment section for about 30 minutes after this video is released to respond to your comments. All right? Love to hear them, love to see them. So this past month, there was a study came out looking at gluten-free products and the levels of different pesticides and minerals present in them. Probably know it wasn't good news, but people often rage about gluten. But the reality is gluten literally just happened to be wrong place, wrong time. You know, the true culprit in this epidemic of gluten sensitivity and celiac disease, I believe, is actually the pesticide glyphosate. You know, there is a 2013 study showing that basically as glyphosate increased and continues to increase, celiac disease just follows it, just like in tandem. You know, I often see in my practice patients who have no antibodies to gluten or wheat, but yet swell up, have massive brain fog, joint pain, migraines upon eating wheat products. You know, it's paramount that we make conscious decisions to avoid glyphosate, that pesticide, in order to enjoy great, fantastic, what we want type of health. So back to the study. I looked at glyphosate in gluten-free products and found that 44 out of 64 samples tested positive for glyphosate. So you have a person who feels, unwell consuming gluten, trying to help themselves out by eating gluten-free, pastas, breads, crackers, and they're getting bombarded by the very same pesticide that created, this gluten sensitivity, this digestive problem in the first place. So Banza chickpea pasta had the highest levels of glyphosate at 2,963 parts per billion. And according to Dan Huber, who's a renowned plant pathologist at Purdue University, just 0.1 parts per billion of glyphosate is harmful to humans. Like there's no amount of glyphosate that's helpful for any of us. And the most common pesticide found in the study on foods was 2,4-D, which is one of the two active chemicals in Agent Orange. Yes, same thing used in Vietnam. So remember, the gluten-free label, it says nothing about the health of the food you're consuming. Now look at alcoholic fatty liver disease, skyrocketing. I see this in so many patients all the time, and they're not morbidly obese. That's not why they're having it, but they're consuming a standard American fare of food. This isn't just because they're eating processed carbohydrates and lots of sugar. That's not helpful, but it is because the toxic chemicals loaded up that come along with eating white breads, crackers, chips, store-bought cookies, donuts, those colorful sweet drinks. Those are loaded with toxins. And as a side, it was also interesting that Simple Mills brownie mix, Simple Mills almond crackers, and Made Good vanilla cookies that were supposed to be gluten-free, they actually contained gluten. I know. On the bright side in the study, it did show that Edwards and Sons rice crackers did not have any detectable levels of glyphosate. So for gluten-free people, want some rice crackers, looks like right now that's your company. Recognize that when you eat foods devoid of nutrients, loaded with toxic elements, that your capacity to sustain life is going to be greatly hindered. I mean, we had 64 foods here showing none of those foods are nutritionally valuable, just like any other processed food. And the more your body experiences these foods without nutritional density, without a high mineral content, the more you're going to experience digestive issues, depression, anxiety. Your body is stripped of life, and so you're going to feel like you don't have life in you. I think this once again cements the need of those who want to enjoy life free of dysfunction and see the next generation with as much health as opportunity as possible, to simply avoid any level of consistent input of ultra processed foods, as well as making sure that, hey, We're not the ones using synthetic herbicides and pesticides on our lawns and our driveways. You wouldn't find that in our garages. Perhaps even asking our neighbors, hey, what do you say if we just say, let's not pour poison on our plants, driveways, and grass? I have a free download in the link below to help you with your food transformation journey. So you don't feel like, oh, these are all the no's. What are the yeses out there? But to wrap this up, it is invaluable to recognize the impact that toxins and processed foods are having on our bodies and just our ability to manage life optimally. And we got to do something about it. Take one single step, make one choice amongst the foods and the environment that is under your control, and then act on it today. All right. I would be so grateful if you would, mention how you've orchestrated your lifestyle, how you orchestrated your environment to decrease toxin exposure, increase whole foods, because there's thousands of people who are watching these videos and listening to these podcasts who want to know how to do it. How'd you do it? And they hear how I do it, but like, how did you do it? Because you may be like identical in your life to them, how their life runs. And it could be so valuable to them. All right, so please like, share. There's somebody out there, family member, friend, who may be ignorant to the fact that what they're consuming is actually loaded with much more than they see on the label. And you can be a light to them and create opportunity for them to, get on the path they want to get on. Because a lot of people right now are going down a path thinking they're doing good for themselves because they're basically choosing the organic, natural looking food. But it still comes in a box, still in packaging, all that kind of stuff, still ultra processed. And the reality is what they're consuming is not going to lead them to the destination they want. All right, I'm Dr. Matt. Talk to you guys now later.